Hello everyone, I'm going to be working in my usual scraps journal again today. Of course it's week 2 of the Around the Home and Garden prompt in the Facebook group, the Mixed Media Emporium. Now I want to work on this page here because I've had this card, it's slotted into my journal here for weeks and weeks. It was one that was sent to me by Eugene with the beautiful papers that he sent me, which I've used quite a lot in this particular journal, and I think it sits well with this page here. And again, this is really appropriate for the prompt as well, because I don't know whether you can remember, this was a gel print background that I did using lemons. Now to try and pull this together, because of course that looks a bit bare as it is, I've had a hunt through my stash of scraps and bits and bobs, and I found some of these pages here. Now I found a piece of gel print, and this is obviously from the same page as this piece here, so you know, we'll try and incorporate this into a spread as well. This is just a piece of adhesive fabric. We've got a piece of wallpaper scrap. We've got some embossed paper that I used in a previous project. This is a napkin that I've glued to a piece of cardstock, and this is just a scrap left over from a brusho piece that I did, oh gosh, probably about 6 or 7 years ago. But colour wise, I think these all work really well together, so let's just try and pull a collage together. So what I'm thinking, let's start with this in the background, and in fact what I'll do to start with, let's cut this down because this is the biggest piece. Let's start off with this one here, so I'm just going to make a pencil mark and I'm going to take that off to the trimmer. There we go, that's the backdrop, so so that's the starting point. And I think when you're doing journal pages, and sometimes especially if you are stuck for ideas, start off with a really small project first, and just you know, work from that point there, and usually the ideas, as I've said to you before, do start to flow. Now I was thinking I could have this piece of napkin here, and I was also thinking that I might be able to pop that brusho piece inside here. Now all this is, I've heat embossed with white embossing powder some flowers which were from a Dina Wakley stamp, I think, and then I've just sprayed brushos, various shades of oranges and pinks and that kind of thing, but the colours are just perfect for going with this. What else did I want to do? Then I was thinking I could maybe have my card on top. So how many pieces have we got there? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, that might be enough. I always like to have an odd number of pieces in my projects. And of course, with the grey background and this piece here, that might be enough. Now, of course, this looks a bit bare here, so I think I'm going to have to find something to go here at a later date. But let's start off by sticking this down. Now, I don't want to waste any of this brusho piece here, so let's just flip this over and just measure how much I need. So again, I'm going to take this off to the trimmer and just use that slither there. That should be plenty. That's enough for today's project, and I can pop that off to one side to use for something else. Now, where do I want this to go, and which way round? $1,000,000 question. Do I like it like that, or does that look a little bit odd? I think I like it there like that. I'm going to use art glitter glue, so what I will do is just pop a small amount of glue just on the edge here. Somebody asked me last week, what is this new glue I'm talking about? Let me just show you. It is called art glitter glue. Artglitter.com. So art glitter dries clear adhesive, and I'm really liking it so far. I love my Fabri-Tac, as you know, but sometimes it does have a tendency to make pages a little bit thick, and this just dries more or less instantly, which I really like about it as well. So there we go, we've got that so far. What else did I want to pop on? And then I just wanted that there like that. Let me just make sure that I've got all of these straight, because otherwise that's really going to bug me. Something's not quite right there. I think I need to pull this piece out just a little bit, and I'm going to glue this on here like this. So the card will still open with the lovely note that Eugene sent me, so I'm just going to pop some glue here like this. I think I only need it on the two sides. Let's centralize this. I don't want to cover up too much of the flower detail. There we go, that will do fine. And then I can glue this down onto the background as well. And so there we go, that's our first piece. Easy peasy. Let's put some glue there, and a bit here as well. Maybe we could pop a tiny amount top and bottom. And another thing I really like about this glue is that you use such a small amount of it. It's incredibly strong. So let's centralize this. That will do fine. And so that is my first page. Let me just put this little pin back in the top. So you've got a stainless steel pin that just goes into the top there like that. And here comes Louis. So I'm just going to slot this in here, and that is my first little assemblage, if that's what you want to call it, done. Now, I did say that I wanted to have something here. Let me just see what I can find in my stash. I don't know whether I can do something with this, but we've got this piece of wallpaper scrap, and I particularly like this part here. So I think what I'm going to do is take this off to the paper trimmer. In fact, actually, we can just use regular scissors for that. Let's just cut this there like that. Will that work? You see, that's quite symmetrical. And can we find anything that we can maybe add to the centre of this? Maybe a little quote or something would do. Now I've decided against using this piece here. We can save that for something else. But I noticed that on the back of this card it says tender thoughts. And so I found one of these little small talk quotes, practice kindness. That's in the Tim Holtz ideology set here. And I'm just going to have that there like that. And I just think that's enough to break up the bottom and add some balance. And so I'm just calling that done. Isn't that gorgeous? Moving on from this, let's just move that out of the way. I want to fix a page. I don't know whether any of you can remember the page I did here with the bugs. I had this glued down here and it just jars with me. There's just far too much of the gold. So whilst I've got the bits and pieces out here ready to do something with, I thought I'd do it with you. I've pulled out these pieces here. This is just a piece of a wallpaper sample. I absolutely love that. Of course, this is a piece of napkin that I did a few weeks ago that I just glued down to a piece of cardstock, and I am going to stick that down there like that. I think it works more in harmony with this page, and it just breaks up some of that gold. So I'm just going to stick that down as well. Before I removed this page a couple of weeks ago, that was where it lived. But since last week doing this page here, I don't really want to upset this little cluster. I love the way that looks. So what I've decided to do is move it to here. I'm just going to break up these two pages here. I know that they won't be opposite each other anymore, but that's okay. I think this will still work. So we'll have the gold. We need to break that up and put something on that page there. That one is there like that, and I think the butterflies go really well with the birds, so that's that. So on to the next project. So I want to do a couple of pages at the beginning of the journal. These 2 pages here, so I've taken them out already, so let's just put the journal to one side. I don't know whether anybody could see it as well. This was a page I did a couple of weeks ago, and some people were really bothered about the fact that I didn't cut around the moth. I didn't do that because I didn't want to spoil it, and I didn't want to spoil the background of the page either, but you know, I have photocopied it and glued one on top. I do wish sometimes that when people leave comments when they don't agree with something, that they do it in a more polite way. You don't have to be rude. So there we go, I'm just saying. So here we go, let's work on these. Now I've got this scented sachet, absolutely beautiful. So there we go. It's been in my car for absolutely ages, and it's been to the cleaners today, so I've just tipped out all of the bits and pieces that were inside. Now this needs to go on the background here, and of course this can now act as a little tuck spot envelope at the top, you know, where I've slit it to remove all of these scented beads that were inside. Of course I need to find a way to cover up the wallpaper sample. This was a piece of wallpaper, so of course we've got the print and the design details on the back. I've got a couple of papers that I could use. Hang on a minute, everything is gluing together. I've got this gold piece of paper here. This was gifted to me by my friend Pam. I love this. It goes really well with the green on the other side. So I could use that, but I've also got, which was also gifted to me by my friend Pam, this bright yellow piece of paper here. Now, of course, because this is translucent, you can still see all the details regarding the wallpaper sample, but am I really worried about that, or do I quite like the fact that you can see it? I mean, after all, this is a junk journal. Focal image wise, I've got this that was cut out of a magazine, and I think that will work really well on top. I've also pulled out a piece of burlap as well, so I'm thinking that I might be able to pull this together. Do you know, I think the bright yellow is what I'm going to go for, but do I apply some gesso over the background? I think I will. Let's just pop a piece of really cheap washi tape over the centre here, just to protect the opposite page, sorry. So there we go. I've got my gesso here. Gesso dries really quickly and is nice and opaque. So I'm just going to paint some of this on here like this, and hopefully this will just mask that print. I don't mind if it doesn't cover it completely. I just want it to be a bit more subdued perhaps. So there we go. I'll do this, and I'll give this a couple of coats. Now of course you can still see the text, but it's a lot less obvious and in your face. I'm just going to glue my piece of bright yellow paper down with some matte medium. So let's pop bit of that on there like that. I'm just going to spread this out as well, just making sure I've got plenty around the edges. I might need a little bit more. Let's see how we go. That should probably do it. So bring in that gorgeous bright yellow paper. This is just homemade, handmade mulberry paper. So let's line this up. I'm just going to have this here like that, and I'm just going to press that down. Let's use a bone folder just to make sure that that's attached nicely. There we go. I'm just going to weight this down underneath the heavy book. Let's just remove that tape there as well. I can trim that. We've got a slight bit of overhang by the looks of things, but we can deal with that later. Once that page is just been weighted down underneath a heavy book, I just want to deal with this focal image. It's just a bit too bright white, so I'm going to take some Distress ink. Whoops, a daisy, I've dropped it. Distress ink in frayed burlap. I'm just going to take a small amount here, and I'm just going to distress the edges. I don't want too much. I don't want to add too much colour, but I just want to take some of that bright whiteness away. So I'm just going to do this a little bit at a time. So I'm just going to go all the way around the edge until I'm happy with it. So here we go, that's grunged that up a little bit. I just want to attach it to a piece of frayed burlap. Here we go, just using a glue stick because I'm going to take this off to the sewing machine. So let's just position that. I might need to take a little bit off this. We might have too much fabric here, so I think I'm going to trim the bottom, but I'm just going to take this off to the sewing machine and just stitch around the edges. We'll trim this. What I'll do is I'll fray, here we go, until I get it to the right width. Oh, hang on, I'm losing bits on this side here, and I'm trying to pull from this direction. You can see what I'm doing, and then I'm just going to just trim along the bottom like this. Just love that bright yellow. Isn't that just so happy and gorgeous? So that's glued down now. So bring back my scented sachet. That smells so beautiful. Which side? It's going to have to be that side there, just because we've got the seams on this side here. Oh, do I want to take this apart? Am I ever going to use that as a pocket? Do you know, I think I'm going to take it apart so that I've got two pieces to play with. There you go, you can see I just cut along the seams, so that's the back part. We'll save that. I am going to use my corner rounder though. Now this has gone a bit floppy at the side, so I'm just going to have to be careful about how I do this. In fact, I think it's going to be better if I do it from this way around, and I'm going to ink around the edges as well, just to get rid of the white edge. That looks better, doesn't it? And let's just ink this just to get rid of that white border, just because it's a bit straggly in some places, especially here. It won't be so obvious once we've glued everything down. There we go. So that's lovely. So which way round do we want it to go? I think it's this way up. So I'm going to glue that on first. Again, just using this glue here, just a small amount, just around the edge. Just focusing on those edges there, just so that those don't come unglued. There we go. That should do it. And again, I'll probably need to weight this down underneath a heavy book for just a second or two. Let's pop that down. Let's get it centralized. Where do we want that to go? About there, I think. A bit higher up. So pretty, the colours are just gorgeous, and then I can just glue my focal image on top. What a simple but effective page. You know, colours make everything, don't they? I think they do. I love how bright and colourful this journal has become. It's just such an eclectic mix of just all sorts. Here we go, and let's glue this down as well. Perfect. I think that focal image is just lovely. So, you know, it really is just a case of starting off with one thing and then raiding your stash to see what other bits and pieces you can pull together to coordinate. I love how those two work together as well, although they're not going to sit together in the journal. Of course, next I need to do something with this side of the page here. I don't want to lose the integrity of this beautiful paper bag. It was just a paper bag that I had from Jules, as you can see, and the design is absolutely gorgeous. I've pulled out this butterfly, which was one of the ones that I made myself. For anybody who's interested, I'll leave the link to the video showing how I made these in the description box below. I found another one. Which one do I like best? No, this one here. So I want to have that butterfly there like that. I do want to cover up the cerise pink as much as I love it. I don't think it really goes well with this side here. So I found another piece of wallpaper, and I'm just going to stick that over the top, because I think by the time the butterfly is on, that will just look so much better. So again, I'm just going to glue this on. So let's do this. I'm going to smooth this out though, and make sure that I've got plenty right at the very edge so that it doesn't come unstuck. So I'll just do this with my finger here like this, and let's stick this down. It doesn't really matter which way up it goes, but let's just try and cover up all of that pink. There we go. That will do fine. We've got a bit showing, but that's good enough for me. And again, I can use this glue as well. Let's just put a bit here, and we'll stick our butterfly down. Where does he want to go? Just there, I think. And I think that's another lovely spread. Really simple. You can see that my butterfly has glued down beautifully. I've toned down the yellow as well, and all I've done to tone it down, for those of you doubting Thomases that thought, oh my goodness me, that's never going to work, I've just used Distress ink in frayed burlap, and I've just gone around the edges like this, over and over and over, until I've got the tone that I'm happy with, so that you can still see all of that gorgeous bright yellow, but it's not quite as bold and brash and in your face. I absolutely love that. You can also see as well that I've chosen to use a couple of let me just move this out of the way, a couple of the Tim Holtz chit chat words. Life is good, trust your crazy ideas, of course, which was really appropriate. I think. Here we go. I'm calling that done for today. Absolutely love this spread here. So bright and beautiful. Love the distress edge. I think that just finished everything off. So of course we've got this here as well. Love this butterfly. That's what's on the other side. This is getting so chunky now and difficult to show you what's inside. What else did we do? Of course I did this page here as well. I love how that spread turned out, and of course we repaired a page as well, didn't we? Where was that one there? So of course I added more to the background of this one here, and I'm so glad that I did that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed seeing these ideas come together, and hopefully it's given you some ideas as well as to how you can incorporate scraps and things that you might have lying around your home in your own junk journals. Don't forget to go and check out and see what Kylie's been up to this week as well. And just to reiterate, the prompt in the Facebook group this month is inspiration from around the home and garden. So I think, you know, all of these pages fit that bill. But if you've enjoyed today's video, as always, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. Do let me know what you think in the comments below, but most importantly, thanks for watching. Take care everyone, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.